test constructing in 4 stages.
First is planning stage.
Second is test preparing stage.
Third, try out the test.
And fourth is the test evaluating stage.
In planning stage we consider
What is to be measured,
what content areas should be included, and
what types of test items are to be included.
to address those problems we
First, determining the objectives of testing.
then preparing test specifications, and after that, we select appropriate item types.
To determining the objectives of testing.
These summative tests should cover the whole instructional objectives and content areas.
Therefore, attention must be given towards this aspect while preparing the test.
When determining the objectives of testing,
A test can be used for different purposes in a teaching-learning process. Among them,
Measure the entry performance.
progress during the teaching-learning process.
Decide the mastery level achieved by the students.
Students have requisite skill to enter into the course or not.
What previous knowledge does the pupil possess?
Helps to carry on the teaching-learning process.
To find out the immediate learning difficulties and to suggest its remedies.
Tests are used to assign grades or to determine the mastery level of the students.
are there
The second important step in the test construction is to prepare the test specifications.
in order to be sure that the test will measure a representative sample of the instructional objectives and content areas, we must prepare test specifications.
So that an elaborate design is necessary for test construction. One of the most commonly used devices for this purpose is table of specification or blueprint.
Preparation of table of specification or blueprint.
Preparation of table of specification is the most important task in the planning stage. It acts as a guide for the test construction. Table of specification or blueprint is a 3-dimensional chart showing list of instructional objectives, content areas and types of items in its dimensions. It includes 4 major steps. Determining the weighted to different instructional objectives. Determining the weighted to different content areas. Determining the item types to be included. Preparation of the table of specification.
Determining the weightage to different instructional objectives.
There are vast arrays of instructional objectives. We cannot include all in a single test. In a written test we cannot measure the psychomotor domain and affective domain. It is also true that all the subjects do not contain different learning objectives like knowledge, understanding, application and skill in equal proportion. Therefore it must be planned how much weight to be given to different instructional objectives. While deciding this we must keep in mind the importance of the particular objective for that subject or chapter. For example, if we have to prepare a test in general science for class X, we may give the weight to different instructional objectives. Weight given to different instructional objectives in a test of 100 marks.
Determining the weightage to different content areas.
The second step in preparing the table of specification is to outline the content area.
It indicates the area in which the students are expected to show their performance.
It helps to obtain a representative sample of the whole content area. It also prevents repetition or omission of any unit. Now question arises, how much weight should be given to which unit? Some experts say that it should be decided by the concerned teacher, keeping the importance of the chapter in mind. Others say that it should be decided according to the area covered by the topic in the textbook. Generally it is decided on the basis of pages of the topic, total page in the book, and number of items to be prepared. For example, if a test of 100 marks is to be prepared, then the weight to different topics will be given as following.
One way of determine the weightage of a topic.
Total number of items or marks divided by total number of pages in the book,
multiplied by number of pages in the topic.
Determining the item types.
The third important step in preparing table of specification is to decide appropriate item types.
Items used in the test construction can broadly be divided into two types, like objective type items and essay type items.
For some instructional purposes, the objective type items are most efficient, whereas for others the essay questions prove satisfactory. For example, when the outcome is writing, naming supply type items are useful.
If the outcome is identifying a correct answer, selection type or recognition type items are useful.
So that the teacher must decide and select appropriate item types as per the learning outcomes.
Preparing the three-way chart.
Preparation of the three-way chart is last step in preparing table of specification.
This chart relates the instructional objectives to the content area and types of items.
In a table of specification, the instructional objectives are listed across the top of the table, content areas are listed down the left side of the table, and under each objective the types of items are listed content-wise.